We begin the warm-up with squats with overhead shoulder position. The aim is to keep the feet flat on the ground, but if you can't do that now due to mobility, then you can elevate your heels slightly onto some small blocks to keep an upright position. With the pistol pivots, our aim is to pivot smoothly from one foot to the other on the balls of the feet. You can use your hands to assist you when first starting, but as you get more comfortable in this bottom range, then feel free to experiment without hands. Transition from one foot to the other, straightening the hamstring in each position. With the squat rotations, our aim is to rotate through the upper spine and lead with the shoulder as much as possible. Once you grab your ankle, use that same side shoulder to dig into the knee for resistance as you twist. Keep twisting in and out of the position, aiming to open up the chest more and more as you go. With the pike extensions, our aim is to round the spine as much as possible. With each pull, try to get lower and think about head to the floor and hips to the sky. You will feel this in your hamstrings a lot, so keep it nice and slow in the beginning, and as you progress, pull harder. With the inchworms, you begin in a plank and you walk your feet up as close to your hands as you can. Try to keep your knees locked the whole time and only go as far as you can maintain that locked knee position. On the way back, we focus on the same thing. Knees are locked, and as you walk the hands up towards the knees, think about getting your hips up to the sky and compressing. Stay tight in the core the whole time through. The first exercise is a wide stance squat. The aim is to keep the hips as still as possible and to just sink in between. Imagine yourself there is a pole running through you and you want to keep the spine as straight as possible as you squat down in between. Now think about really opening up the knees, driving the hips and the knees out. The feet are not too far rotated out, but they're slightly at a 45-degree angle. So once you've completed the prescribed number of reps, pause in the bottom position and hold the isometric for 10 seconds. So in the locked knee good morning, the aim is to isolate the hamstring as much as possible. So we do this by keeping the working leg locked and arching the lower back as much as we can. Once you feel that you start to lose this nice flat arched back, then you stop there. You don't try to get lower, but you hold that bottom position and then you extend back up. The supporting leg does not kick too far back, but rather stays close to the heel. And you want to think about squishing something into the working hip. Think more belly button towards the floor rather than the chest. And think about somebody's pulling your tailbone up to the sky. We're going to maintain this nice position, moving in and out. And once you've completed the prescribed number of reps, you are once again going to hold the bottom position for 10 seconds. This stretch, you will feel all the way from your lower back down to your heel. With the split squat, the aim is to drive the front knee way past the toe and try to connect the hamstring to the calf. You want to keep a slight posterior tilt and don't arch in your lower back. And you want to think like you are traveling on an escalator rather than an elevator. So you're going forward, not so much down. Think about initiating the movement from the front hip. And also on the way back, make sure that you push through the front heel. The heel stays in contact with the ground the whole time. If you find it difficult to do this, you can elevate the front foot slightly onto a small step, which will allow you to get deeper as you are using less range of motion. With the band overhead squat, the challenge is to keep the band pushing up as you squat down. This will challenge your shoulder mobility as well. So think about pushing the band behind you, opening the shoulders as much as possible, and keeping an upright position. If you assume a wider grip, it will be easier for you to push the band back. Make sure that you choose a band which you can support overhead throughout the whole time. Again, if you find it difficult to squat all the way down due to mobility, you can elevate your heels slightly onto some small blocks so that you can keep an upright position.